Hi everybody, good morning, good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you are. So, as will become our habit, we'll open each video with something other than Harry and Meghan. Something like, how does Amal Clooney stay so thin and not look her age? I'm joking. No, I'm not. But let's move on to the royals. That is what we are here for after all. I saw the king and queen consort in their bright pink garb going to the service of dedication at St. Paul's Cathedral. What shall we say? Maybe it is the reflection of the pink, but Charles does look a bit better. It is my non-medical opinion that getting out in the sunlight and doing his duties, which includes a lot of walking, is indeed good for his circulation. William also attended a meeting at the Royal Society where he gave a speech on antimicrobial resistance. Ask me what I know about antimicrobial resistance, and I'll tell you nothing. Am I particularly interested? Not in the least, but it was good to see William looking smart. Anyway, this was indeed part of William's patronage of the appeal to create the Fleming Initiative at St. Mary's Hospital. King Charles and Camilla also attended another garden party, the Sovereign's Creative Industries Garden Party. The king and Camilla looked splendid, Camilla in her pink dress and the king in his matching waistcoat. In one of the photographs, the king is actually seen shaking hands with Edward Enninful. And maybe we should blow up that photograph to show Meghan why the crown will always triumph over pipsqueaks like her. The crown may harm itself from time to time, but the Meghan Markles of the world does not have the style, the background, the resources, or the brains to hurt the institution, because the Enninfuls of the world will always choose a garden party at Buckingham Palace over her crazy rhetoric. And that, my dears, is what I want to talk to you about today. In yesterday's video, I posted a photograph which was not released while Harry and Meghan was in Nigeria, but only afterwards, once they were back in the United States. It is a photograph of Harry and Meghan visiting a charity called Save the Children UK. Now, this visit was made under the radar while in Nigeria, and Harry and Meghan met with staff and 2 youth ambassadors of the charity in Abuja. They attended the meeting along with Miss Son Harriman, who is indeed a global ambassador for the charity. But here is the crux of the matter. Guess who is the patron of Save the Children UK? None other than Princess Anne. Princess Anne served as the president of Save the Children UK since 1970, 54 years. She became their patron in 2017, succeeding none other than her mother, the Queen, as patron. Anne worked tirelessly on Save the Children with Stories campaign during lockdown. Anne spends a significant amount of time visiting Save the Children projects in the United Kingdom and overseas in countries like Sierra Leone, Mozambique, Ethiopia, etc., etc. Princess Anne regularly meets with fundraisers and volunteers. Her work for Save the Children is such that in 1990, President Kaunda of Zambia nominated Princess Anne for a Nobel Prize. Now, it is a huge organization operating in 100 countries. So obviously they need all the help they can get. But no royal ever interferes or holds meetings with another royal's patronage. Ever, 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 ever. They can donate or they can support, just like William and Catherine had donated £1 million to Invictus in the quiet. Nobody or very few people knew until it came out and made the news when Harry started his string of court cases against the media. But imagine the backlash if William is suddenly to start attending or arranging meetings with Invictus management and staff. We will hear the explosion all the way to the outer regions of our solar system. So, why is it okay for Harry and Meghan to muscle in on Princess Anne's charity, on her patronage? Why? Why is the king doing nothing to protect his most loyal supporter and sister, Princess Anne? Maybe he is doing something at last, because there are rumblings. But unfortunately, as for me, I will believe it when I see it. And I am absolutely prepared to apologize if the king actually finally disciplines Harry. Now, I think this visit to save the children in Nigeria was supposed to remain under the radar. But we all know Meghan by now. When the news broke about Archwell and its missing filings and fee, and Meghan saw the backlash, she likely thought, oh, F this, F the royals, F everybody, and she released the photographs. Now, understand me and understand me well. I am not Princess Anne, and I'm not Prince William, and I do not know either of them personally. But over time, one does hear things, and you can, in a small way, make certain assumptions. So there are a few things we know about Prince William and Princess Anne, and things that they may have in common. As a matter of fact, we know they have that in common. Both are hotheads. Both are fairly stubborn, and neither like Meghan. Princess Anne did not like Meghan from very early on, and Prince William can't stand her and likely never will. So, I think, and this is just my opinion, that if King Charles does not do something very, very soon about Has-Been and the Witch, he is going to have a mutiny of his strongest supporters on his hands. And I do not necessarily mean William and Anne themselves, although even that is not impossible, and I'll tell you why in a minute. I know that Harry and Meghan have already divided the public. That is a fact, and we don't even need to argue about that. Now, can you imagine if it comes to a point where there's even more division and subdivision? For example, I don't particularly like King Charles as a person, but I like William and I adore Anne. I know I'm not the only person feeling this way, so make people force them to choose William versus the Harkles or Anne versus the Harkles. And I'm telling you, the shit hitting the fan will spread even wider than it already has. People who did not bother about Charles or the monarchy versus Harry and Meghan will be up in arms. And remember what I said minutes ago. the infants of the world will always choose the garden party at the palace unless or until the stars of the show, the Annes and the Williams, no longer attend the show. The tea and biscuits are not going to draw the same crowd. So, the king is treading a very fine line, and I'm sincerely sorry to say this, but his illness bought him time to deal with Harry and Meghan. But now the time is running out, and unless he wants to be the last king of Britain, he better do something to finally and brutally separate, or even sever, if you will, Harry and Meghan from the monarchy and fast. So why am I saying this? Well, once again, I'm going to point out the overall stupidity of mainstream media. But first, let's tell the story. Harry, in his infinite wisdom, spoke to People magazine and announced that they intend to travel more after the success of their trip to Nigeria. Well, the tour was not as successful as you may think, but that is a story for another video. Harry said, and I quote, "There's only so much one can do from home and over Zoom. So we look forward to traveling more because the work matters. Whether it's the Archwell Foundation, Invictus, or any of our other causes, there will always be reasons to meet the people at the heart of our work." Okay, so number 1. Who exactly does Harry think he is? Does he think he is Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex? Well, if so, why did he leave the monarchy and royal family? He left just to go do exactly what he did while in the family. He is still opening art exhibitions and traveling to other countries to give some platitudes and word salad speeches, it seems. Number 2, why are Meghan and Harry always eager to spread the charity to other countries and places, and never or hardly ever to where they live? Not far from where they actually live are rampant poverty and homelessness. Why not help there? Why do they have to go to Nigeria or anywhere else for that matter? Number 3, didn't Harry caution people to travel less just a short while ago? So I guess it does not apply to them because him and his wife are so special. Now, my friends, don't listen to me. Just ignore what I say. Make your own mind up. But in my opinion, Harry and Meghan want to conquer the Commonwealth. I think they want the Commonwealth, those 54 countries, many of whom are African or black countries, to side with them against the king and the monarchy. I think that is their new plan. So they have now been to Nigeria. So where to next? Ghana, Uganda, Zambia, Rwanda, Mozambique. Pity Meghan can't be 43% Ugandan, 43% Zambian, 43% Mozambican as well. She was actually very stupid in my opinion. She should have said she was 10% Nigerian, 10% Mozambican, 10% Kenyan. Then maybe she would have gotten traction in all of those countries. Anyway, if I put 2 and 2 together from what I hear and what Harry said, I think I may be right. And I see and hear that I'm not the only person to actually think so and say so. There are a few, very few journalists thinking along the same lines. So what is Charles going to do about it? This is where the stupidity of certain mainstream media outlets actually come in. I see there are dumb twats writing that Charles should prevent Harry and Meghan from traveling to Commonwealth countries. What? What? Are you stupid, lost your mind, or do not know what the hell you're talking about? King Charles cannot prevent Harry and Meghan from traveling anywhere. Commonwealth countries are all independent countries. King Charles has no say in who travels to those countries. Only their own governments can prevent anyone from traveling to their countries. Usually, only if you are a known terrorist or have a criminal record will a country prevent you from traveling there and spending a few days. So unless or until Harry and Meghan acquire criminal records, they can travel where they want. The only thing King Charles III can do and should do is to divorce Harry and Meghan completely from the British monarchy. No more titles, no more fifth in the line of succession, no more Councillor of State, zilch. And why would this work? Because the innfuls of the world would rather be invited to the garden party at the palace, metaphorically speaking. Why would a country like Nigeria invite Harry Windsor and spend millions on him, his accommodation and security? No, they wouldn't, but they will do so for a British prince. And that is yet another reason why King Charles has to step up to the plate now, because once his runaway son and his crazy wife starts visiting these countries more often than he does, followed by film crews and money, the monarchy will lose support faster than Harry can finish his bong. Guys, this is becoming a farce, and I think most of the royals actually know it. I mean, go ask William why he made Earthshot independent from the Royal Foundation. Ask William why he refused to take over his father's trust and foundation. And Anne, there had been talk for a while that she may retire at 75, and she's turning 74 this year in August. The gossip I heard was that she will continue with some of her patronages and charities, but no longer do full-time royal duties. Now, I honestly do not necessarily believe that, but if Charles continues to allow ChickenHawk and his wife, ChickenLegs, to interfere with Anne's lifelong work, why should she stay on? Why not spend the time with her husband, children, and grandchildren? I mean, loyalty works both ways. Anyway, guys, that's me for today. I will be back over the weekend with some more stuff. So I'll see you then. Take care. Bye.